Hey gang, Anthony here. Just wanted to touch base. Great weekend, beautiful Sunday. Hope everyone is doing very, very well. I just wanted to speak to those of you that follow me and watch these videos. It's very interesting. I posted something a couple of days ago about a bunny, and it was a bunny rabbit that was sleeping, and the headline on the post on the share of the post was a bunny rabbit being woken up by a foghorn, one of those loud foghorn things. And it was a very cute video. But what amazed me is how many people reacted to the image that they saw without even watching the video. And that actually, it actually did surprise me, because those of you that know me know one thing. I am a fanatic for animal well-being. I would never post. I don't put any of that crap on there that I get on my feed. People, hurting animals, hurting dogs, and whatever. I just don't do it. I don't share them. I don't even like watching them. When someone posts that, I usually hide the post, or I don't want to block the person because they don't mean ill will. They're trying to share something. I just don't like that. But it amazed me how many people did not actually watch the video, where I actually needed to say, why don't you watch the video? Because they were criticizing how dare the guy, how evil he was. And it was a tongue-in-cheek video. It got millions and millions of views. And I'd be the first person that would have negatively reacted to it and probably, posted something negative on that video's feed, whatever it was. But I did watch it. It wasn't a long video, and I enjoyed it. It was actually kind of cute. He woke it up by tapping it on the ear with the little plastic mouth of the foghorn. And it brings to mind what we do every day of our lives. We distort everything that comes across us on a regular basis, and it can lead to stress. It can lead to anxiety. It can lead to poor performance. It could just lead to a lot of negative things if we didn't do that. When we experience anything in life, any kind of situation, any kind of conversation, we're filtering out what we're receiving. We are deciding what we want to accept as part of that event, that situation. Have you ever been with two people at the same event, the same situation? The stories that they tell about that situation are completely different. And they're both there at the same time in the same space, watching the same event or experiencing it. They just experience it differently because they bring into the situation their own life expectations. They bring in their past. They bring in their beliefs. They bring in paradigms that they've experienced, and they filter out a lot of different things. We tend to generalize. We have a generalization mechanism that's built into us. It's a safety feature that we have. It's how we generate our beliefs. And by generalizing, we're basically your girlfriend breaks up with you, and all women are horrible, or your boyfriend does something wrong, and all men are evil. The boss yells at you when you walked in, and he's a creep, and all bosses are creeps. You tend to generalize these things on a regular basis. Not a good place to be. All dogs are dangerous because someone was bitten by a dog. I mean, we had the friendliest pit bull around us yesterday. But some were afraid because it's a pit bull. But it was like a little baby. It was like the most playful thing I've ever seen. It's actually a working dog. It works for, believe it or not, it's a corrections officer, as is my daughter's dog. So we shouldn't be generalizing anything. We should be thinking through what happens in our own life and deciding maybe we need to not be so generalized in our viewpoints. We also delete things. I mean, you delete 80% of what comes into your mind. You might not even realize it, but we do delete at least 80%. I mean, right now you're sitting in this chair, you're watching this, you're probably not paying attention to anything going on around you. Hopefully you're listening to the video. But I guess the thing is, if there was a fire on your stove right now or something you're cooking, which has happened to me, you will, obviously that would interrupt the thought process, and you'll attend to that. But normally you're separating out the traffic. Right now there's traffic around me. My neighbors are over there talking. There's somebody down over there. There's a dog barking. I'm not paying attention to any of that. Because I'm focused on what I'm doing right now. If I close my eyes, I can hear all of that. I can sense the air hitting me. I can smell the flowers that are surrounding me, and the herbs that Mary Jo has in the garden. I can sense everything, but when I'm doing one thing, I'm focused on one thing, and I'm kind of, deleting out all those other things. It's a very interesting thing that we do. We also distort stuff. If your boss came in the morning and he didn't say good morning to you, you're going to think he's mad at you. Or if he yelled at you, you're going to react to that. You might react negatively to that. You're going to think, oh, he doesn't like you, or he's always against you. He's having a problem with just you. Well, maybe what probably happened, I call this the cat kicking situation, where, the boss's wife maybe had a fight with him that morning. You might have heard some bad news about, something, and came to work a little funked up, and then he basically yelled at you because you're his, immediate, subordinate, and then, you're all upset now, and, you decide to, take it out on the secretary. You start making demands on the secretary, and she's getting all upset. So she goes to the file clerk and starts harassing the file clerk, and now the file clerk's all upset, and the file clerk has to get, some trash removed, and the janitor comes up, and she starts yelling at him for not doing his job. The janitor goes home and he kicks the cat, and the cat's wondering, what the hell did I do? I didn't do anything. I got kicked. Well, problem is the whole cascading of events occurred, and we come up with our own interpretation of reality. How many conversations have you had? How many misunderstandings have you had because of gestures that you might have made, the way you might have looked, your eye movement, tone of voice, and they get misinterpreted. We need to watch that. I'm guilty of that too, and I need to watch that myself. We also personalize everything. We tend to believe, people talk about just us, or how we can how if we get together with people, we'll blame ourselves if everyone's not having a good time. We can't control what other people think. We can't control what other people do. The only thing you can control, by understanding and putting into perspective that you don't have any control of anybody in this life, but you do have control of how you react to everything going on in your life. It's how you deal with things. You can influence people in any kind of way. Whatever skill set you happen to have to influence people to do the things that you would need them to do. For your benefit, but you can never control what's going on in their life. You can only control what you think and what you do. We had a great time last night. I watched my daughter go through some of the body blows of life over the past few months, and she's healed from that. She's getting better with that, and she's realizing that there is a blessing to everything. Everything that we go through has a blessing, has a positive aspect, and if we can reach into that inside ourselves, we can find it. There's always a blessing. There's always a good coming from everything that happened. It's because hindsight's 20/20. If we're not growing and we're moving forward from what's happened in the past, then we're just gonna stay in the past, and we're never gonna prosper. We're never gonna grow. So again, great time last night. Very proud. We're hanging with my ex-wife and her husband Wally, literally laughing till we could barely breathe. It was so much fun. I was really surprised that they came out all the way from Brooklyn. My daughter Jessica was there. My grandsons were there. It was just a blast, and it was definitely opened up my eyes to how blessed I am with the people that are in my life. So if you have people in your life that are blessing you, understand that you have a great life. You get to decide how good it's going to be. Anyway, God bless you guys. I love you. Speak to you soon.